Now, Tetsuya Naito.
Tetsuya Naito.
So let's go over some of the things Tetsuya has said recently in interviews. And this is my favorite thing. If you could bring it up there. Yeah, there he is eating I guess he's eating a pizza and some sausage and he's
a margarita.
Has a margarita. He's living his best life in there. Well, can you bring up the quotes here as to what he said in an interview recently? Who's this interview with?
It's Tokyo Sports with his favorite interviewer that he basically, every time he meets with them, he leaves him with the bill.
All right. He said, nice detail. I'm quoting this from Tokyo Sports. In our last interview, he revealed that he was planning to compete in several U.S. promotions in August. However, he explained the circumstances surrounding his return to Japan, saying, I was actually planning to go directly from the UK to the US, but it seems the US visas are extremely strict right now. That part is true. I wasn't able to get one this time, so I came back. With the situation in the US being uncertain, I feel like my next fight will probably be in Europe. He is scheduled to compete in Italy on the 15th, the 16th in Japan, and in Germany on the 17th, the 18th in Japan. You got that, Hulk Hogan? You see how that works? And he commented, at this point, Japan is definitely not an option for me. I am thinking about which country and promotion I should go to next, he said, munching on a margarita. Maybe so someone should probably tell me you should probably drink those and not munch on them.
Well, no, there's a margarita pizza.
Oh, a margarita pizza. Yeah, is that what it is? Is that what it is?
There's you get discs of mozzarella.
Yes. Okay, all right. I see what you're saying. Then he has just said probably not Japan. You know what that means, Jeremy? He's coming back. He's coming back to Japan. The first thing you say when you're about to come back is, I'm not coming back.
I'm not coming back.
Yeah. Now, this is something that we've talked about a lot off the show, Jeremy, is that this game of chicken, it's either, I don't particularly care whether it's a work or it's not with Naito. The result to me is the same. He's out for a little while and he's going to come back. The reason being, no one else can pay the guy. And so, they talk about maybe he
wants to pay him for what he can offer.
He can't. If he and New Japan couldn't come to terms and he actually did leave, and there are people that think that it's a work, but let's say it isn't. It isn't. Let's just say he actually did leave. Noah can bring him in for big shows. Mm-hmm. They can bring him in for big shows, but they can't pay him what New Japan was paying him.
Right.
No one else can. DDT might be able to bring him in for a big show, but that only works once or twice. All Japan can't afford him, and neither can Dragon Gate or anybody else on that. His only spot is New Japan. So I always thought, even if he's a freelancer, they're going to bring him in for the Tokyo Dome. And I just laughed when I saw this as well. I'm definitely not going to have my next fight in Japan, which is the first thing you say after your next fight's in Japan. So Tetsuya Naito is going to be in New Japan again fairly soon, just because no one else can really afford him or want to hire him. And none of the North American companies don't want him at this point, not as an insult to him, but he's over 40 and he's broken down.
Every time he's been on AEW, he's worn a T-shirt and acted like he doesn't want to be there, and WWE is not interested. So it is what it is. I read this and my BS meter went off crazy. And you and I have talked about it. Other couple of people. Oh, first I want to give some credit to the We Work Stiff podcast, because they have a Discord and they have been on this just kind of investigating it. And I felt comfortable talking about it on here after, having conversations with them, because based off of the work that they've been doing, and go check them out. They got a podcast that drops every week. I think they'll go much more in depth into the work that they've been doing on there. But frankly speaking, Tanahashi's got a Wrestle Kingdom match, and he's going to have a singles match, and you can't just put any guy in the roster with him. There's a short list of people that can do that match with him, and it's going to, draw a crowd for the Tokyo Dome, rather than just being a match where people are politely go because it's Tanahashi. And that's Okada, Nakamura, and Naito.
And, the other thing that fuels the speculation that this whole thing has been an elaborate work is the fact that he's working for who? Rev Pro, perhaps AEW in the US. We don't really know. He can always go back and do a guest spot with CMLL once in a while if he chooses to. All companies that New Japan works with anyway, right? He hasn't yet appeared or announced to appear for anybody that's not a strict New Japan ally. So that fuels that speculation. But I was saying, even if not, if New Japan didn't want to pay him what he wanted to do a mostly full-time schedule, then he's just going to do dinks and dunks. And there are only a couple of promotions that can afford him more than once or twice a year. And so he's coming back to New Japan. It's the only people that can pay him. I mean, end of story. Like there really isn't anybody else. And when you look at every time I see these attendance numbers, the leverage on Naito's side gets a little ratcheted up a notch or two, because they're not drawing well without him. They objectively are not. So he's probably just if he has actually left the company, he's probably just sitting back waiting for the phone to ring, and it's gonna ring.
Looking at it this way, and the optics, like if Naito were on the New Japan roster full time, he wouldn't be having good matches, and we'd be criticizing it. Him being away ups his value. Him being away ups his health. Him being away ups the intensity of him possibly returning. There's no downside to him being away. And if this is to build for like, oh, he's the guy coming back to put Tanahashi out of his misery, and like he's not even a part of the roster, but he's going to come back, and he's got a message for Tanahashi is like, you're not getting past me. Like, that's a build. Like, that's better than, a half-assed, story that you're doing in the middle of the G1 that's not even the main focus.
Yeah, I've already fantasy booked the idea of Tsuji winning the G1, then winning the world title, and Naito coming back to challenge him. As the at the Tokyo Dome. Just as I think that would be an interesting way to do it as well if you have somebody else for Tanahashi. But
we're both on the same page here. He's coming back.
Oh, I think he'll be at the Tokyo Dome. They have to have him. I mean, he draws. Whether he can wrestle or not, he draws. And they need to draw. They can't have the crowd be smaller than last year. And with the numbers we've been seeing ever since Goto went out and Naito left, and there was a little bit where we're not totally sure if that was, that we already saw a little bit of a drop off even with Goto after Naito wasn't on the cards anymore. They can't go to the Tokyo Dome without that guy. They can't.
Nope, not at all.
They can't.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and Brad says it's an elaborate way of taking him out of the G1 without really saying he's missing the G1. Maybe it is. And Colin mentions
that no matter how you look at it. So, yeah.
And Brad mentions he did an interview where he said he wants to fight Okada and also fight alongside Okada against Omega and Ibushi. No, thank you on that one. Oh my God, how much heavy lifting can Kenny do? And then Crash is wondering if he'll show up at Forbidden Door or Rev Pro. Yeah, it does feel like a lot of these things are very New Japan ally centric.
I would very much like for Tanahashi's last match to be announced at Forbidden Door, because I feel like it's deserving of a big event to kind of, you need a big moment or a big match or a big event. And Tanahashi, I assume, is having a match with Shibata. He beats Shibata. And I don't know, Naito comes out and he says, hey, I'm coming for you at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's Naito, but whoever it should be at a big show. It's like, are you going to do this at Power Struggle, or do you do it at Forbidden Door where, you're going to have the Japanese audience here for it either way? You want to get the entrance in the Western speaking world that they want to go there too.